what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Miami Homestead, Miami Speedway for the round of 8 cutoff race here in Apex E-Series. Tonight we are at the round of 8 cutoff race. We're going to send 4 people to the final championship round at Phoenix, and tonight 4 people are going to go home without a chance to fight for a championship. So who's it going to be at Homestead tonight? Good, what a great track to do that at, and we're gonna have a good time. Let's go ahead and look at the playoff bracket right now. You'll see who's above the cutoff line. Chris Carroll, Chris Bedwell, 2 drivers with wins that are locked in, and they are ready to go. Now, after that, you got Charles Stevens and Garrett Kinder above the cutoff line right now, but not too far. Alan Smith, Ray Rogers, Tony Edgerton, pretty close behind as far as points goes. Aaron Adcock missed a race last week and is going to have to win tonight. He is in another must-win situation tonight, so Aaron Adcock going to look to make that happen. As we will pull up the standings real quick, see everybody how close it is. You'll see Aaron pretty far back, going to need a win to get that done. But you'll see right there at that number 4 spot, Alan Smith just a few points behind Garrett Kinder. And so going to need some good nights from some drivers, some lead lap, trying to maybe some pit strategy, get a lap led or something like that. Every point's going to matter. And it's going to be difficult tonight. Only 12 drivers in here. So not going to have a whole lot of, somebody has an issue, they're going to be able to get right back in it. So you're going to have to fight for everything that you got. So let's go ahead and get the grid going, and let's see who is on the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award. Is Aaron Adcock up front with a 33.477. That's blazing fast. Chris McLean starting outside front row. Garrett Kinder starting 3rd. Chuck Phelps starting 4th. Chris Bedwell starting 5th. Starting 6th is Charles Stevens Jr. Starting 7th, Ray Rogers. Alan Smith starting 8th. Starting 9th, Dana Shepard. Starting 10th, Tony Edgerton. Starting 11th, Anthony McPherson. And 12th is Matt Rogers. That's your Kinder Farm and Ranch starting grid. So congratulations to our Pole Award winner, Aaron Adcock. He's already doing what he needs to get this thing going. As we are already gridded up, getting ready to get this thing rolling. As I fumble around, get these camera angles up, and get this grid off the screen. So 100 laps to set our final 4 and see who's going to fight for a championship at Phoenix. Really, really looking forward to this race. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be able to see the guys up top, down at the bottom. Drivers all over. Tire savings is going to be a premium. At the top of your screen, you'll be able to see the playoff drivers and where they stand. Aaron Adcock, for some reason, I had his number in there. Don't know why, but Aaron is a playoff driver, so just pretend his name's green, but everybody else should be right. But you can keep track of them. Aaron Adcock would be the only one that's not up there that is in the playoffs. So you see Aaron, he's in the playoffs. All right, getting ready to go green here. And Stacy Adcock, it's October 13th, and you are watching the right race. As the green flag is out, Aaron Adcock going to take the green flag, and Chris McLean actually has a little bit of a advantage going down into 1, but 17 going to take over the top spot. Like I said from the very beginning, 17 in a must-win situation. Pretty much all the drivers that aren't named Chris in a must-win situation. As a win to get you in, you won't have to worry about points. But if you're Alan Smith, if you're Ray Rogers, Garrett Kinder, you got to make sure you take care of your stuff. You don't want a quick exit. That'll keep you out of that top 4. So right now, Aaron Adcock doing what he needs to do, as Chris McLean following real close behind Garrett Kinder. Go back here and watch these battles that are going on. About midfield, you got Alan Smith, Chuck Pegleg Phelps, Charles Stevens Jr. battling it out for 6th place. As with these fields the way that they are, you would imagine that you're going to have a good amount of green flag racing, so saving tires is going to be super important if you're Anthony McPherson. Oh, and Anthony actually A little bit slow off the corner. May have gotten loose off of turn 4. You're going to see that a lot tonight. Turn 4, pretty spooky. You see Anthony jumps right up to the top side. He's going to try to make that work. He's going to need some points, some help to get in, as he is a good bit below the cutoff line. Ray Rogers is another one of those who he is below the cutoff line, going to need some help to get himself in. So, like I said earlier, going up there and winning, that's the best way of doing it. So we'll watch Ray Rogers here. Get to the back bumper of the 13. How hard do you fight? Or do you try to ride? Just depends on how fast you think you are. If you're a good bit faster than the 13, just get on by him. But if not, trying to get a little bit of draft. Take care of your stuff. See if you can make your way to the front. Ray Rogers not necessarily in a, as we pull the standings up one more time. See, Ray only 4 points, or he's about 10 points back from Garrett Kinder. So Ray Rogers pretty much in a must win. So a lot of scenarios to go through. Don't want to make it too confusing, but if we have a first-time winner or a non-Chris winner, then it's going to be tough. Charles Stevens is going to have that last spot. Or Garrett Kinder, excuse me. Or yeah, no, Charles Stevens wins. So if one of the bottom guys, Aaron Adcock, wins this race, Garrett Kinder will actually be out if he's not able to get the points to get around Charles Stevens. The only 2 points out, though. So right now, based on the standing, Garrett Kinder would be in if it ended right now. So a lot to keep up with. I don't have live timing, don't have live points, so I can't keep you up to date on that. But just try to give you an idea of what to expect and what these drivers are trying to accomplish tonight. Charles Stevens Jr. got to be feeling pretty good. Like I said, he doesn't have to really do too much. Just keep Garrett Kinder within 2 spots, and then it doesn't really matter what happens. He should be good to go, but right now he's falling back. About to lose a spot from Chuck Peg Lake Phelps. Up in the high line. You'll see some of that start to, Matt Rogers gets super loose back there. But you'll see that high line work. It gets a nice run off the corner, but you got to be careful you don't burn those tires up. Go back up to Garrett Kinder, Ray Rogers. Got Chris Bedwell right behind him. Ray Rogers gets a nice run. Going to look to the inside of Garrett Kinder and see if that top side pretty strong. Let's see if Ray can keep that inside going into turn 3. Still going to be really, really tough to make that pass. That high side is really, really nice here at Homestead. A little bit more fun with a high horsepower car, but trucks can make it work. You see the 51 struggling to make that pass on the bottom side. Looks like as they go down turn 1, Ray able to make that pass now. 13 going to drop down, try to block 95, keep that from happening. As behind him, Alan Smith making a pass on Chuck Peg Lake Phelps. Chuck going to fire back though on the inside going into turn 3. If Alan Smith keep it wound up on the actually comes down and takes that spot. And like I said, got green up at the top, let you know who's in the playoffs, but you also see those green playoff banners. That highlighter green lets you know who is racing to get themselves in the top 4. Alan Smith looking like he is moving in the right direction after lap 11. Tire saving a huge deal here, as that you want to keep that right front on you at all times. So it looks like he is starting to trend in a good direction as he looks under Charles Stevens. Charles Stevens actually going the wrong way. He's got to fight a little bit. Charles not necessarily fighting Allen for a points position, but he needs to keep Garrett Kinder 2 spots away. So he's actually right now racing with Garrett Kinder as he's trying to keep that point advantage. Allen Smith looking down to the inside, looking strong, trying to become the leader of this second pack back here. They are about 3 seconds back from the top 5. See Allen going to get down to that apron. Turned it in the corner just a little bit too early. One thing interesting about Homestead is that they look identical. So if I pull up the track map here, you'll say, well, the track looks like the corners are the same, but they're not. They are completely different on how you drive them. You got to take it easy, get down to the corner, get back on the gas as soon as you can. In 1 and 2, 3 and 4, you kind of drive deep into the corner, let it rotate, wait on the throttle, and get back on it. So 2 different corners. If you get down to that apron, you can bounce out of the groove and lose a ton of momentum. You see he was under the 88 and he lost, I mean, for that next couple laps, he lost all of his momentum. So you have to kind of get that back. But it looks like top 5 is getting a little busy as Aaron Adcock's still leading the charge, but Ray Rogers run down this 5 machine of Chris McLean, and he is knowing what he's got to do. Ray Rogers, basically like what we talked about, basically a win or go home type situation for Ray, and so he's going to be fighting hard. Of course, you got a teammate here of the 17 who is also in a win or go home situation, so you got a lot of stuff going on for only 12 drivers. We got a lot going on, a lot that's going to play out. And I think this is going to be a lot of drama. Probably the most drama-filled 12-car field that we've ever seen. Go back here. Allen Smith got her back rolling, gets a little bit loose there, has to drop back behind the 88. Definitely seems like he's faster. Just not able to put the laps together to get around him. Let's go on board with it. Coming down to that entry, trying to get down to the white line, get on the gas as soon as possible, and try to come off the corner. Just so tough to do as the tires start to wear out. That outside line just too strong. There's got to be a lot of patience as they try to make that pass. And like I said, Charles Stevens, he's not necessarily racing Allen Smith in points, but you know, that spot's going to mean everything. As Charles gets a little bit scary off the corner, gets really high. Go back up front, though. Ray Rogers still putting the pressure on Chris McLean. Going to look down to the inside. But see the top side really rolling. You see the 13 kind of almost got to the outside of the 51. You know, if I'm Ray, if I'm Garrett Kinder, I'm not fighting too hard. As you see the 17 still there. As they're racing their guts out there, still hanging with Aaron. So you got a little bit of time to be patient. Doesn't look like Aaron's going to be able to drive away. As now it looks like Chris McLean going to put a little pressure on his teammate. But this is a lot of fun to watch. Ever since iRacing came out with the update where they allowed the top line and stuff to work, it's really made for some interesting racing. It used to be you only had one line right at the bottom. That was the same for every track unless they purposely made the top line better. But ever since they came out with that update, now you can work the top side. You can make passes up there. What's so tough about it, though, is that if you're trying to pass somebody on the inside, the guy on the top side, he can really hold you up and fight you hard, as it's really, really hard to clear somebody when that top side can get rolling. See if Ray's able to clear the 5. He's not able to do it. I think he might have had it cleared, but just didn't want to be too aggressive with the slide job. So going to cost him a couple more laps of fighting side by side. Looks like they both kind of push up into the middle of the corner. You see Ray yawing that truck out as it come off of turn 4. And Chris McLean's got the run down the straightaway. So right now, Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock's best friend, as I feel like Ray may be a little bit faster than everybody up here, but he's not able to complete that pass. Oh, you see Ray Rogers gets real loose off the corner. So frustrating. You feel like you're faster trying to make this move work, but you just see the strength of the top side. Now, the only negative to the top side is that the tires do wear out. You know, and I was talking about Ray Rogers being patient. You know, you don't have to push that truck too hard. If they're running that top line, eventually the right front's going to get too hot, and it's going to be tough to deal with. But when that happens, you just don't know. And, oh, it looks like Ray Rogers now going to lose a spot to the 13 as he gets a little bound up, a little tight off of turn 4. And now he drops back the spot to Garrett Kinder. Back, check on this battle. It's still going on between the 3 and the 88. Just not able to. Got a pass going on for second place. Like something may have happened to Chris McLean. I don't know if he got into the wall. He is off the pace. He lost 2 spots there. Garrett Kinder was able to get around him, and Ray Rogers. Let's go back and see what happened. Oh, you see the 5 going to get into the wall, kind of get stuck a little bit, going to lose a lot of momentum. And that's how Garrett Kinder and Ray Rogers able to get around that 5 truck. So, like I said, that running that top side, those tires don't grip as good as they did before. And you go down in the corner and they're just not going to turn for you. Gets in the wall a little bit. But probably not too much damage. Should be able to get that thing back rolling. So go back. Looks like the 3 trying to get around the 88, allow the 75 to get up to him. And Chuck Pegleg Phelps takes over the 7th position from Alan Smith. You know, if you're Alan and trying to make those passes, it's really, really tough. Is like I said, those guys working that top side. Sometimes you got to get up there and drive up to the outside, try to get on their outside a little bit, make that move work. But there is still a long way to go. Just a quarter of the way through lap 26, 27 here. Aaron Adcock still your leader. As we got battles going on all over the track. This has been a fun little 3-way battle. Looks like Danny Shepard going to join the fun pretty soon. And this has been a lot of fun to watch. Looks like all 3 of these drivers pretty close in speed. You start to see Charles Stevens Jr. getting a little bit tight there. As 75 able to really make up a whole lot of time in the middle of the corner here. Chuck is there. He's looking right on the back bumper of the 88. They go down into turn 1. Both these guys running up the track. The 3 right on the white line. Going to look down to the inside of Chuck. Chuck going to kind of throw a block a little bit there. These guys racing hard. Right now, as it stands, though, if you're Charles Stevens, you got to fight every little bit. Garrett Kinder now running in the second position. That is 3 spots between him and Garrett Kinder. So that would put Garrett ahead of him in the point standings, would put him in the championship 4. So it's like Chris McLean must have some sort of damage as he's starting to fall back a little bit, going to fall into the clutches of Charles Stevens, which Charles glad to see that, as he is pretty desperate for somebody to pass, as he has been holding these guys off for quite a while, as he's tired to definitely starting to wear out here. You can tell Charles fighting with that 88 machine a little bit. It seems to be under constant pressure from these guys behind him. Starting to push up off the corner a little bit. Ooh, gets real close to the wall. That's going to open the door for Chuck as he looks down to the inside. Can Chuck make this pass? It has been really, really tough to get around this 88 truck. See if he's able to do it. The 88 looks like that right front really, really hurt. Let's see if the 75 can slide up in front of him. Not quite. Oh, he is. He does. And Charles is going to jump down to the inside. Has the momentum from that top side. But I think Chuck may be able to hold him on the top side. Let's see. Oh, Charles takes the spot back, puts the slider right back on him. He's going to push off the corner, though. Can he hold it? Oh, gets super close. These guys are this is awesome. I ain't never seen guys drive this hard for 7th place. That just shows how much is on the line, especially for Charles Stevens, Alan Smith. These guys fighting to continue their bid to the Final Four at Phoenix, have a chance to win a championship. We have been caution-free here so far at Homestead, 32 of 100 laps, as we watch these guys still battling out. Charles Stevens Jr. struggling a little bit. See how high he's getting off the corner at that right front, screaming as he is really, really putting the heat into it. And oh my goodness, these guys all over each other. Chuck gets to the back end of the 5 machine. We saw the 5 get into the wall a little bit, but you just wonder if it's damage from. Oh, as the 5 goes around, Chris McLean goes around. So does Bedwell. Bedwell's wrecked into the entrance of pit road. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, the 5 pulls up in front of Dana Shepard, and the 5 having all kinds of troubles now, as he's trying to make that truck work, but obviously has some sort of damage. My goodness, that was a scary moment for both of those playoff drivers. Is Chris able to get it together? Very, very close. I'd be surprised if he didn't come on down pit road now. But we saw Bedwell come down pit road. See if we can watch where Bedwell spins it. Right into the barrels, too. Trying to get on pit road. Oh, just not able to get the thing. As soon as he gets on the apron, it kind of messes up. Wow. Chris McLean coming down pit road. Get that fast repair and some 4 tires. About time for a pit stop anyway, I would imagine. Going to have to make 2 stops, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But we go back to this 3-way battle, man. This is a lot of fun to watch. Of course, talking about those 2 drivers, Chris McLean out of the playoffs. He was not able to move on. And then Chris Bedwell is locked into the Final Four, so doesn't really mean too much to him this race. This race is sort of a formality. Make sure your setup is good where it needs to be for next week. Phoenix is where it's going to matter. Aaron Adcock, though, brings the 17 Furniture Row, almost gets a little bit of the barrels himself, and going to give up the lead and come down pit road, get 4 tires. So it looks like we're going to make a 2-stop race here as they are crossing the line for lap 37. bring the 17 Furniture Row Ford F-150 down to that first pit stall. And Tony Edgerton in the 77. He's already been on pit road. Oh, no, he hasn't. Slides through his pit stall, has to get back on Slammer in reverse. Here comes Garrett Kinder. Alan Smith doing the right thing, look like he's going to stay out there and lead a lap. It's going to put him behind some of these guys that are pitting. But I like the call. Get that point. Never know how much it's going to matter. Get you a caution. Get back up there and get them. But we're going to have 2 stops, so there's going to be another pit stop. He's going to give up a ton of time with these guys on track. But that bonus point could mean all the difference. So I like the call by the number 3 machines. He comes down pit roads and give up the lead. Oh, I don't know. Did he get down to pit road speed? That's going to be close. Looks like he was pretty fast, so we'll see if he gets a penalty for that or not. You can tell he was really, really on the brakes. Back on the lead. Aaron Adcock going to come out ahead just right in front of Garrett Kinder and Ray Rogers. So those 3 nose to tail right off pit road. So all 3 of them had really, really good pit stops. Garrett Kinder, Ray Rogers did a really good job of getting on and off pit road, able to stay with Aaron, even though he came in a lap earlier. So, like I said, Garrett Kinder not in a must-win. As long as he's able to maintain a 3-spot advantage over Charles Stevens Jr. Now, he would love to get up there and get a lap led. Get that bonus point would give him a little bit more of a cushion. But right now, if he can stay 3 places ahead of Charles Stevens, he is in no matter what. No matter if we get a win and in driver like Aaron Adcock. Of course, we've already talked about Ray Rogers. He has to win to get in. Cannot point himself in, not with this size field. So Ray gonna have to dig deep, try to stay with these guys, get up there, be there at the end. That's the most important part. Ray Rogers can definitely get it done. So if you're Aaron Adcock, you don't feel safe. You got a teammate behind you, and Garrett Kinder, you don't feel like he's probably content just riding and helping his teammate out. But Ray Rogers, not in the same boat, that's for sure. Come back out of pit road. This little 3-way is still going on. After that pit stop, you're looking down at your tires. What was my tire wear? How bad was it? How bad did I burn that right front up? Start to make some adjustments. You can't make any. It's a fixed setup leads. You really can't make any adjustments like tire pressure, track bar, wedge, those type of things. But you can make driving adjustments. So you go in there and say, "Oh, I was using the wheel up too much, turning the wheel too hard. I was really burning that right front off." So make some adjustments as far as you're driving and make that up and try to improve upon that on the next run. Well, we are pretty much spread out all over the track except for this nice little 3-way battle that keeps going on. It's a gift that keeps giving right here. Chuck getting a little run here on Charles. Going to look down to the inside. Go down in turn 1. Chuck not able to get back on the gas. And that's going to bring Alan Smith up a little bit closer. These 3 trucks putting on a show. Like I said, a lot of things going on here Charles Stevens fighting every position matters. As right now, there's 3 drivers in between him and Garrett Kander. That puts him out of the playoffs. Now, if there's just a lot that can happen. There's a lot of movement that can happen. With Aaron winning, that puts only 1 driver that can point in, so that kind of puts all the pressure on Charles Stevens and Garrett Kander. However, if Aaron Adcock does win the race and someone else does, let's say Garrett Kander wins the race, then that opens up a lot of possibilities for some other drivers, or somebody that, let's say Chris Bedwell gets up there and wins this race. Makes a lot of fun scenarios. Go up front. Garrett Kander right on the back bumper of the 17. Like I said earlier, I don't know what teammates, what you do. Obviously, we want to help your teammates as much as possible. If I'm 13, I'll probably just get up there and say, hey, I'll give you that spot back. Just let me get a lap led here. Get that little extra point that I need. But Garrett Kander may not want to race Aaron Adcock at Phoenix. Aaron really, really good at Phoenix, and Garrett does not like it. So maybe you knock the old boss man out. That way you can't he can't bring the hammer down next week in the desert. This battle rages on. In this position, you're trying to make these passes, but you got to be patient. They've got 6 seconds to Chris McLean in 4th place, so it's not like you're going to run down 6 seconds from here. So if you're Alan Smith, Chuck, got to be patient. Wait for the tires to start to fade a little bit. Save your stuff and be there at the end of this run. You see him looking to the inside of Chris Bedwell. These drivers, man, putting on a show. Love to see it. Chuck, while not in the playoffs, he showed up to race. He didn't show up to ride. We saw Bedwell in that 95 hit the barrels. Obviously, probably got that faster pair, but I don't know if he got some more damage after the fact. You see the right side is fixed up, but he seems to be having some sort of issue, but the damage looks good, so I don't know if he's just kind of out here riding, logging laps or what. He gets passed by all 3 of these guys. Charles Stevens happy to see that, as that brings him, I believe it is tied with Garrett Kander right now for that final transfer spot. Let's go front, check out what's going on up at the lead. We got battles all over the track as Garrett Kander looking to the inside of that 17. Ray Rogers sneaking his way up at the last lap. Ray Rogers is about a 10th and a half faster than both these drivers. Kander looking down to the inside, going to get a run here on the 17. They're side by side down the back straightaway. And 13 to the point. Still another pit stop left to go. Got to be a little bit nervous if you're 17. You can't go backwards here. You gotta fight here. You gotta fight for these positions. As we are over halfway now, and he, like I said, gonna keep repeating it so you know who's where and who's got to do what. But 17 has to win. The 51, excuse me, has to win. Both those drivers must win situation. 13 just needs to point himself in, but it is really, really tight 2-point difference between him and Charles Stevens. So if one of these two win, Garrett Kinder could find his way out depending on where he finishes. So right now he's doing a good job though getting the lap led there, so that'll give him a little bit more breathing room, but not for long. Is 51 going to look down to the inside? Ray Rogers trying to go to the point here. Let's see how hard the 13 is going to battle him. 51 may try a slide job here. Not able to do it. Not able to clear him. 13, though, fighting back on the outside. That's keeping the 17 right there with him. I just don't like that high line at all from what I've seen already. I've seen guys run the high line. It's fun to do, and it makes people, makes passes difficult. But man, it just seems like it hurts the tires. Heats up that right front, both right sides, and makes it difficult. Oh my goodness, this Ray Rogers goes down to the inside wall, gets super loose off of turn 4, trying to make that pass, and he's going to fall back to third. Really trying to make that thing grip off the corner, but not able to. But what an amazing save. We've already seen a couple really, really good saves out of McLean and now Ray Rogers. We'll go back here. Let's keep going back and forth between these battles. Chuck still trying to get around this dang 88, and he gets into the wall now. Charles Stevens going to lose a little bit of momentum, and I think that's going to be enough to get the 75 around him. As the 75 is clear, is he able to slide up in front of him? And he is. So Chuck Pegleg Phelps moved himself into the top 5. Needed a little help from the wall there, but he finally got it done. Charles Stevens making that 88 very difficult to pass. Ooh, got to be careful there. Go back up front. We got battles going on. Ray Rogers back up to the lead as he is looking to make that move. He already got around Aaron Adcock. He is on the back bumper of the 13, ready to take the lead away. It was quick how he caught up to him. So you know that 51 is fast right now. 40 laps to go in this cutoff race. This is it. Final 4 next week. They're going to be fighting as hard as they can. Looks like Ray Rogers. Oh, no. My goodness, Ray Rogers into the wall. Huge wreck as he is demolished as he gets stuck into the wall. 13 with some engine damage. Oh, big problems here for playoff drivers. 2 playoff drivers getting into it. As it looks like Ray Rogers was trying to complete the slide job, and the 13 not going to let that happen and just ran out of room as the 51 just kept trying to slide up and clear that. Let's see if the 13 definitely has some engine damage. Can he get back to pit road? If it expires and he's not able to get back to pit road, can't use that fast repair. So very scary moment here for the 13. Ray Rogers already sitting on pit road. It looks like he's out of it. So my goodness, what a development here. If you're the 17, you're tickled pink. Did not expect that to happen. Let's go back and look at that. We were kind of watching it, but let's go back and see what happened between those two drivers. You see Ray Rogers been trying to make this pass, and 13 trying to lean on his door a little bit, and if they come off the corner, you know, it's tough to say. I mean, nobody really did anything wrong there. The 13 definitely going to lay on his right rear quarter, not give him that extra little bit, but the 51 trying to clear it, keeps his foot in it. And the problem is, you say, well, why don't the 51 just go to the left? Well, he can't. Once he's on the throttle here, that truck is going to be pushing towards that outside wall. And, you know, even if he lifts, he kind of is still going to go out to the wall. So he committed. Once he committed in the middle of the corner, he was already committed to clearing that 13, and he just wasn't able to do it. The 13, like I said, didn't really do anything wrong, just a racing incident. But man, just a horrible deal for Ray Rogers, who was trying to make the pass to get into the Final Four with a win, and now it's going to be very, very difficult. He's on pit road towing. But 13 able to get that that fast repair, and some new life for some drivers now. I mean, Ray Rogers, if you're the 17, kind of felt like Ray was going to be the one to take it from him as we're getting down to 40 laps to go. He was watching both those drivers kind of drive off. So if you're a 17, you got to be thrilled, man. That is a big, big deal. If you're Alan Smith, if you're Chuck Phelps, Charles Stevens, I mean, this is all big news for them. Is now that kind of gives them more, gives them a little life here as they now can see the front. But first caution of the night on lap 62, as two leaders, Ray Rogers, Garrett Kendrick, get together. Ray Rogers currently towing, so he's going to need a lot of help. So, you know, just depends on what happens here. If Aaron gets the win, like I said, only one driver can point their way in. So Garrett able to get back pit road, get that fast repair was huge. But Charles Stevens is going to have to find a little extra out there. He's going to have to make something happen because he cannot let the 13 get too far out ahead. He's got to stay, I think, with that bonus point. He's going to stay within one or two positions of the 13 if he's going to point himself in. So I expect to see Charles Stevens Jr. fighting his guts out for these last 35 laps. Going to be a tough deal on the start. Anthony McPherson. Yeah, not really sure why he's staying out here. You obviously are going to be way off the pace with these old tires, so I'm not really sure what the call is here. He's not in the playoffs, so I don't, you know, with 35 laps to go. I mean, if it was green, white, checkered, I would agree, but here it's a little nervous. So we'll see how this plays out. Just going to be so off the pace. Last pitted on lap 25. So about 34 lap fresher tires. That is a lot when it comes to tires, but he is going to have control of the restart. Gets on the gas. Ooh, he spins them. He's going to go 3 wide here in turn 1, no doubt about it, as he pulls off the track. Interesting call. I don't know why he'd stay out. Just go get tires. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to. Oh, my goodness. His Chuck Pegleg Phelps goes around. Charles Stevens was involved. He got a little piece of that, but caution right back out as Chuck Pegleg Phelps goes around with contact with the 88. Let's go back and see what happened. Let's actually go back all the way to that green flag start, and we'll follow Charles as we watch down there on the inside. The red and white truck, you'll see, spins those tires, gets super loose. Bottom line has to check up a little bit. He actually goes down to the apron Very nice move there as Charles Stevens looking to the inside, and Chuck just gets loose. Scary for the 3 as he gets tagged a little bit. But Chuck, on those cold tires, just gets loose and makes contact with the 88. And that brings out our second caution of the night. My goodness. Well, in the last few laps, it has been a bunch of developments as Ray Rogers looks like he is out of it. I mean, I don't see him on pit road at all right now. So I don't know. I guess he called it quits. So, my goodness. You know, you think for a field of 12 drivers, there wouldn't be that much drama. Man, there's been a lot of stuff going on right now. Aaron Adcock in the lead in a must-win situation. Garrett Kinder just just needs to dodge the issues already had to run in with Ray Rogers. He can't afford another wreck. I mean, even with this little bit of drivers, if he has an accident or something goes wrong, you know, one terminal piece of damage on that 13 truck, and he's out. He's out of the playoffs no matter what. So Garrett Kinder got to be a little bit nervous, sort of driving on pins and needles now after that incident. Alan Smith, he's got to point himself in or go get that win. He can get pretty close, but the guys he's trying to pass are all around him. He's got Garrett Kinder, who he is about, I think he's 5 or 6 points behind Garrett Kinder, and then another 2 points to Charles Stevens Jr. So he's going to have to get up there and get this win, especially if these drivers keep dropping out. But we get to catch our breath just a little bit, as I think some drivers may take note of those cold tires and might remember to take it a little bit easy here on this next restart. Yeah, you see a lot of green banners up there at the front. Playoff drivers always seem to find themselves up at the front. Lights are out on the pace track. We're going to get ready to go back green. We have 31 laps to go when we take the green flag. Ratchet Miller says Garrett Kinder ain't scared. He only knows hammer down. Well, there are 5 drivers up here who are going to do the same thing. So gonna be exciting. Oh, lights are back on the pace truck. They must have needed a little extra time. I don't know. People having trouble getting caught up. Garrett Kinder in such a tough spot. Man, now that there's a couple drivers that are gone, you kind of feel like, with I think 13 and 17 teammates, 13 would love to let the 17 win. However, with Charles Stevens Jr. being right behind him, I don't think he can. I think that would put Charles Stevens in and 13 out. So, if Charles Stevens is up there in the top 3, that makes it a must-win for the 13, which is crazy to think about. So as much as he'd love to help his teammate in this situation, you kind of get stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you got to fight for yourself. So 13 going to have to get up here and race this one out. It looks like had a nice little cushion there, but when that caution came out, that changed everything. All right, we're going green this time. Pace truck yanks her to the left, pulls a wheelie. And we're going to get ready to go back green. Aaron Adcock into Geico restart zone. Gets a great jump. Alan Smith kind of caught sleeping there on the inside. And here comes Charles Stevens. He ain't playing around. He's like, I'm going to get this playoff spot. I'm going to be in the Final Four. They get side by side. Alan Smith's going to be fighting on the inside of Chris McLean. He's going to have that thing wound up for too long on the outside. The 3 truck pulls up in front of him, but Charles Stevens not able to make that pass just work just yet. He is going to give her all she's got. It is a madhouse up here at the front. Chris McLean on the outside, getting that truck wound up. Takes a couple laps. Once you get it wound up, that top side can be super fast. 3 truck actually going to let him get into that position. Smart move, probably. Yeah, I'm going to let you go. You go up there and you fight with these fellas. I'll follow you through. 5 leans down on the door of the 3 truck. Going to push up off the corner a little bit, but has a nice run. Oh, it's a 95. Chris Bedwell loose again. I believe he's had a couple tonight. Go back up front. See Chris McLean. Like I said, with 30 laps to go, that top side not the worst idea. Oh, gets a little bit close as Charles Stevens kind of squeezed him a little bit off the corner. Charles Stevens gonna have to fight for this position right here. He cannot let it go because that will give Garrett Kinder the point as Aaron Adcock driving off already almost a second gap. Oh, Charles Stevens Jr. going to get, oh, they touch as Charles Stevens, whew, self-clears in front of the 5, and that is a dangerous game as he is fighting hard for this. What's going on with these camera angles? Now Alan Smith going to look to the inside of the 5 machine. The 5 going to have the run, though. Got to be careful. Them guys coming from behind going to get up there and battle for that position as well. Don't want to fight too long. But Alan Smith doing a great job here looking to the inside of the 5. That was a close call. I thought we had another playoff driver into the wall. The 88 did a slider that would not recommend. Starting to calm down just a little bit, guys, letting their nerves settle. As the 5 truck going to take another shot at the 88 machine. Of course, 5 not in the playoffs, but he is racing for his team, for his, like I said, for his own. He's here to race. Man, Charles Stevens really struggling right now. It looks like he had been battling really, really hard, and you can tell he's really struggling off the corner to get that thing to drive off. The truck really pushing from exit off, so we'll see if that becomes a thing. That may be, oh, he's going to do the slide job again right in front of the 5. Right now, if the race ends, Charles Stevens is in the Final 4, so he's got to fight. I mean, if he lets Chris McLean go, that may be enough. With Garrett Kinder being, I believe he was only 2 points behind him. He got he got a lap led. I don't think Charles Stevens led a lap. So right here, if Charles lets that 5 truck by, you think, well, just let him by. He seems to be faster. If he does, he's out. He's out of the playoffs right now if the race is over. So he's got to fight. And it looks like fight is what he's going to do. Drives deep down in the corner. That way he gets the exit. Does a good job there. Chris McLean not able to get that truck wound up. Woo! Boy, this is tense. Of course, Alan Smith loves to see these guys maybe get into it. He'd love to see that 88 get up to that 13 and they wreck on the last lap and he drive on by, because that would be perfect for him. That would get him in the playoffs. He needs a lot of help, though. They would have to wreck out completely. 5 going to do a little slider on the 88. So 5 takes that position from Charles Stevens. Charles Stevens all over the back bumper. Charles going to fight back maybe on the inside, see if he can't get that position back. Now here comes the 3 truck. Trigger time. Chevrolet looking a little racy here as he's ready to go. Get up here. He's in the top 5 trying to take 4th position away from Charles Stevens. We'll have to wait and see what the official points is, but I do believe that Charles Stevens now is out with an Aaron Adcock win. So if Aaron wins, Charles Stevens in trouble. And I know for a fact if that 3 truck gets around him, he is definitely out. 3 truck going to go up, slide job, somebody desperate. Oh, then he gives the position. Oh, Lord, the 3 don't know what to do. Be careful there. He didn't want to pull up in front of him, then he did. Then he didn't want him to get the run down the inside, but the 3 truck takes over the 4th position, looking fast with 20 laps to go. That 3 truck going to continue up towards the front. Charles Stevens Jr. looks like he has burned them up, man, trying everything he can to stay within that, close to that 13 truck. But looks like that 88 just not able to get the exit of the corner that he needs. And that puts Garrett Kinder in the playoffs if the race ends like it does, as long as my math is correct, which, you know, it may not be. I don't know. As I look at the points before the race started, Garrett Kinder 2 points behind. He does have that lap lead bonus, and that gives that last spot to Garrett Kinder. So Charles Stevens Jr. going to have to get around the 3 and the 5 to get back in. So he's going to have to find something here with 18 laps to go. Go up front, though, the 17 and 13 getting close. 13 has been running him down about a tenth faster every lap. So I don't know. I don't know what you do here if you're the 13. If you sit and ride and let the 17 win, hey, that's great. You know that helps 17 get into the playoffs in the Final 4. But if Charles Stevens is able to pull out a miracle here and run down Chris McLean, that puts him out. So, man, tough deal. Don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to tell him to do. $16 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Alan Smith getting close to that 5 machine. And Alan Smith looking fast tonight. Wonder where he got that speed. I have no idea. Like he found some tricks, I don't know, but he is looking fast. He looks to the inside of the 5 truck. He's trying to get him an interview. That's what he's trying to do. I tell everybody all the time, can't win a race, at least get the interview. We interview the top 3. Let's get in there and get an interview. That's what I say. Oh, 5 truck getting close to the wall. See if he's able to hang on to it. He is. He's going to get a good run here. 3 not going to be able to make that pass just yet. Of course, Charles Stevens would love these guys to keep fighting. He can catch back up, maybe do something with them. It looks like the 5 truck's starting to fade just a tad. Like I said, running that high line is so good, except for when you're trying to save those tires. It just burns them up. That bottom line just really, really strong in the long run. The 3 truck showing why. See if he can make this pass. Don't want to do nothing stupid and slide up in front of him. It comes off a little bit too low. That's a weird exit, but actually gets a good run down the straightaway. So maybe not too weird. I don't know. He's giving the 5 a lot of room. But it looks like he's able to take that spot. So move the 3 up to the top 3. So Alan Smith doing everything he can to make the Final Four. Had a great race so far with 14 laps to go, putting himself in a fantastic position. I think now you got to put your head down and see what you can get. Let the kind of pull away from that 5 truck and put your head down. See if the 17 and 13 get together on the last lap or something. You want to be there, so you can't come off the throttle now. You got to go. Never know what can happen as we go back up front, though. About a half a second between Garrett Kinder and the 17. That gap looks like it is settling as they are running about the same lap times. Last time by they ran the exact same lap time. This time by they ran the exact same lap time. So they are matching lap times here with 12 laps to go. Man, so many really cool storylines. I just want to thank Apex Sim Racing Gear, ApexSimRacing.com, sponsor of this league. Let them use his name to really make it a legitimate series, which it is. I know there's only 12 drivers here tonight, but that is not indicative of the racing. It's just the way it goes in these playoffs. But, man, I'm telling you, this has been a fantastic season racing all throughout the fields. It has been a hell of a year. 2 races to go now. And the drama is still happening. As you don't know what's going to happen here at the end of this race. We go back here and look at Chuck Pegleg Phelps to the inside of the 77. Trying to make his way back up through the field after that contact when he got a little bit loose on that restart. Made his way back up to 6th. Just trying to, oh boy. Trying to make that pass at 77. Not going to give it up. He's in the playoffs. He's fighting for whatever position he can get as well. So, like Chuck able to clear that 77 now. Back up front, Garrett Kinder. See, looking out. Oh, it gets a little bit loose right there. Probably a little bit of dirty air keeping that 13 away. As these trucks are definitely, the handling is going away. The tire wear is starting to really fade here. And these drivers just trying to make it to the end. 8 laps to go. Like I said, green names at the top. Aaron Adcock is in the playoffs. He's got to have this win to get in. And he's trying to hold off a really, really fast 13 truck. Now, I don't know if he's got enough time, but Alan Smith, last time by, fastest truck on the track. So we'll keep an eye on that the next couple laps as these guys have started to wear their tires out a little bit. Does Alan Smith have a little ace up in his sleeves? We'll see what he can do. Last time by, 35.16 for Aaron, 35.14 for Garrett, 35.11 for Alan Smith. So Alan Smith definitely a little bit faster. I think he's going to run out of time, but man, that 3 truck, very, very impressive. He is the biggest mover right now at 5 spots from where he started in that 3rd position. But the camera stays here on the front. 13 trying to make something happen. Get that 13 truck in victory lane. As I don't know. I do not want to see, if I'm that 13 truck, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to see that 17 in Phoenix. 13, already said it already. 13 does not like Phoenix. So the last thing you want to do is give it to Aaron, who is very, very good at Phoenix. So if I'm 13, I'm trying to put him out. I don't care if he's my teammate or not. That is a dangerous 17 truck. So if I can put him out of the playoffs tonight, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But it looks like that handling that 13 truck is starting to go away just a tad bit. You definitely tell he is trying to drive that thing, get it done. moving around, running the high side in 1 and 2, bottom in 3 and 4. Go back here. Charles Stevens Jr. Going to come up so close. He's got to fight, though, to get every position. If he's listening to me, I don't know what the points are going to be. I'm just making assumptions. So he can go up here and pass this 5 truck. Excuse me. That's what he's going to have to do. Fight for every position he can get. Looks like Chris McLean, 5, has definitely burned his tires up. Last lap. Again, 3 truck, though, fastest truck on the track. Man, very, very impressed with this long run speed of the 3 truck. He was able to get a little bit better track position. We may be talking about the 3 truck battling for the lead. He's able to see these guys, and he was a good bit faster that last lap. All it would take was one mistake out of either one of these drivers, and that 3 is going to be there. But up front, it is all 17, as now he's got a 1.1 second lead over the 13 of Garrett Kinder. He's just got to hit his marks, and he should be able to pull it home. But, I mean, he's running up there right against that wall. One little slip, and that's all it would take. That 13 would be all over him. So he's got to make it perfect. Got to breathe. Get this win. Goes down into 3 and 4. 4. The Absolute Product Solutions. Icing the competition. Final lap. Aaron Adcock. 2 must-win situations in this playoff. And both times come out swinging. Dominated at Kansas to be able to get that win and get into this round. Missed another race. And tonight, able to stay out of trouble. And he is going to go into turn 3 and 4 with a huge lead. And the 17, big boss man, tiny Aaron Adcock, going to come off of turn 4. Checkered flag in hand, and he is going to punch his ticket into the round of 4. And he is racing at Phoenix for a championship. Congratulations to Aaron. What a great drive there. He's able to get that lead after that incident and get back out front. And he is going to punch his ticket. Garrett Kinder with a second place finish is going to most likely take up that last spot as he was able to get that bonus point. And he is finished about 3 or 4 spots ahead of Charles Stevens Jr., so that will give him the point advantage. So not official just yet. The only thing that's official is Aaron Adcock is definitely in the Final 4. There is no official word for me as far as pointing themselves in. That'll have to be officially done by the admins. So I'm not declaring that Garrett Kinder for sure in, but for sure Aaron Adcock, though, in the playoffs. So right now, for sure, it's going to be Chris Bedwell. Chris, well, he's not even here tonight. Chris Carroll not even here. I don't know why I didn't see that. But yeah, Chris Carroll not here tonight, but it'll be him, Chris Bedwell, and Aaron Adcock. And it'll either be Garrett Kinder and Charles Stevens Jr. Filling that 4th position, pointing themselves in. So we will see as it when it gets posted. Probably won't see it on the broadcast, but I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, the 13 is going to make it in the Final 4. So that's going to be a fun final race. But anyway, let's go ahead and get some interview. Well, you know what? We got to give the paint of the night out and stuff. And, you know, everybody's kind of had the same paint scheme. So I'm going to give it to that 13 car. Oh, he took off. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. Kinder Farm and Ranch. That's going to be your 1-inch Designs paint of the night. Jammed Up Hard Luck Award. Definitely going to go to Ray Rogers. Man, that's just a tough deal trying to make that pass on the lead, punch his ticket into the playoffs. and ends up in the wall with a tore up race truck. So he's going to be the Trigger Time Jammed Up Award winner. Probably not going to be happy to hear that he won that award. Just a tough season for Ray. Had climbed himself into the playoffs and was poised to make it happen, and then just a racing deal there at the end. The Hard Charger Award going to go to Alan Smith, third place finisher. Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather, Hard Charger Award winner. Congratulations. But let's go ahead and get these interviews going. The King's Corner chat presented by Five Kings Motorsports. And let's talk to Alan Smith, see what he thought about the race, and see what his thoughts are. Alan, this is Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Eddie?
Man, well, where did you find this speed tonight? You seemed to come out of nowhere, had the long run speed. Man, you were kicking their butt there at the end. A little bit better track position, and been a little bit closer. You were actually a little bit faster than them towards the end of that run. But a fantastic race for you. Kind of up and down, kind of went back and forth, but there at the end, just a strong run up toward the front with a third place finish. Congratulations. Talk about your race.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I switched pit crews tonight. I got a new crew chief tonight, and so I picked up an extra boost there and got a little tips, and so I was ready to roll. This I like this racetrack. It's a really cool racetrack. We got in that one time there when I got bumped in the right rear when Chuck and Charles got into it. Man, it scared me because it did move my car and gave me a 4X. But we're able to stay out there, and I appreciate all the help from the crew chief that I got. Showed me where to hit those marks, and I was able to hit those marks, pull away from those guys, and get my first podium finish ever. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. And you're also the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger tonight, so that's also another award that you get. So, but great drive there at the end. I mean, it was fun watching you make those passes, and you had the long run speed. You had it figured out, and like I said, you're faster than the leader. The leader's the last last 10 laps or so. So just need a little bit more time, and you might be able to get your first win. But still a fantastic race. Going to come up short with the playoffs, but I got to say, I mean, here on the last cutoff race, still had a chance to make it into the Final Four. I got to think that that's a pretty good season for you. You won't be able to race for the championship, but talk about the season and just talk about just being able to be here and have the chance to make it in the Final Four.
Well, last season I had a lot of incidents, and I said I've got to correct this. So I said I've got to cut down my mistakes. So I just started just easing back on my mistakes, not worrying about the speed as much, and just trying to cut out the mistakes. And as I did, I started seeing the finishes getting better and finishes getting better, and and all these guys are just super guys to run around, and so it was just a fantastic season. As I did that, I started picking up top five. I mean, the top tens, top tens, top tens, and then all of a sudden hit that top five, and that just motivated me there. So I just made a few changes in the car, and then, like I say, I got my new crew chief. I don't know if I can say who he is or not, but anyway, I got my new crew chief. I appreciate the info that you gave me. And anyway, it brought this old Trigger Time truck to life, and so it was good to run this last race here with a little speed and try to catch those leaders.
Yeah, definitely like a lot of fun. Well, I mean, I think you've had a really good season, a lot of momentum for the next one to maybe contend, get into the Final Four next season. I think you're moving in the right direction. But congratulations on third place finish. A lot of fun to watch your race tonight. Hard fought battles all night long. But as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors? Shout outs?
Yeah, I want to thank Apex for sponsoring our series here, and I just want to thank Trigger Time for sponsoring the truck. Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range in Tupelo, Mississippi. They sponsor this truck and make it go fast, and so I appreciate them. I appreciate Aaron and all the guys putting this on. Eddie, I appreciate you being in the booth. Great time going back and watching those races and listening to you broadcast those. So.
Well, all right. Well, there you have it. Third place finish. I mean, you did all you could do to try to get in the Final Four. Came up just a little bit short on that, but man, able to get that podium finish. and make up 5 spots from where he started. Very, very impressive. So congratulations on third place, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Eddie. Appreciate it.
There you have it. Third place finisher, Alan Smith. Let's bring in Garrett Kander. Garrett, this Eddie in the booth. You got me?
Hello, Eddie.
Well, interesting race for you. Lots of things going on, and for 12 drivers, that was probably the most action-packed 12-driver race I've ever seen. There was so much that could go on. Points, kind of all over the place. People winning to get in or trying to anyway, and just racing their guts out. People racing each other who didn't need to race each other because of points between you and Charles Stevens Jr. trying to get that last spot. And but you're able to come home second place, get that lap led with a second place finish. Looks like it's going to be close, but I think that you're able to get in. So congratulations if that is official. We'll wait and see, but I'm pretty sure it is. But man, talk about your race, man. Seemed to be hanging around second place all night long. What was the plan, and what did you need maybe to get that win?
As much as I would love to win, I feel fairly confident this track. I really was kind of just points racing tonight. Uh, I was keeping an eye on Charles. I think he was the next guy in front of me. He was 2 points in front of me, and I was able to stay out one lap after Aaron pitted and get that lap led. So that's an extra bonus point. So it gave me a little bit of a cushion where I could kind of play around and maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Got up and got to battle, and I still don't know. I hadn't seen a replay what happened with Ray, but I feel bad about it. I'd been running, I think it's my line off of 4. I'd been running a shallow exit all night, trying to preserve that right front, not going all the way to the wall and sliding it. And it just we got together and calamity ensued. So feel bad about that. Ray's always he's a contender at this track as much as any other, and he was fast tonight. So he definitely had a chance to come in here and get the job done. So I feel real bad about that, and it was fun. I got up there running P2 on that restart, and I got up and gave Aaron a run for his money, or tried to. He said I was making him nervous, but man, he had it, that dirty air. It played hell with me pretty much all race. That's why I was locked in second for so long. You get within half a second leader, and you could make ground through 1 and 2 running a different line. If they're running bottom, you run middle to low, or vice versa. But 3 and 4, it was really a 1-lane track, just like it's always been, because that bump up there on the middle to high side of 3 and 4 that throws you into the wall. So any ground I made up in 1 and 2, I lost in 3 and 4, having to run right in his tire tracks. So big shout out to him, man. High pressure race for him. He was P2 last week of me pushing him at Dega, and he ended up getting it done, getting his win to get in. So big shout out to Boss Man.
Well, congratulations, Garrett, making it into the Final Four. Phoenix, not your favorite track. I said in the broadcast, I might go up there and try to do everything I can to knock that 17 out of the
That
playoffs.
was the plan. That's why I was running him so hard. We talked about it pre-race, and I said, I have a better chance of beating everybody else than I have beating you at Phoenix. So I'm going to
Yeah,
race you hard.
yeah. So, but still, it's still a great race, great season for you. I mean, you probably missed 3 or 4 races and still able to point yourself into the playoffs. I think that shows how strong of a competitor you are and driver. It's one of the strongest top fours I've ever seen here at Apex. So. Looking like it's going to be a lot of fun, but congratulations as always. Who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout outs?
Yeah, as far on my end, I got to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch at Ratchet Speed Shop. They've already been texting me, telling me good job and hell of a race. So you must have done a good job broadcasting it so they can watch it. So thank you as well. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and learn anybody else, make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Wolfpack Racing, Ray Page and Andy over there, great guys to know. All my teammates over here at Poman, man, Poman's we're strong. I think we had 4 out of the top 5 on Poman tonight, and Charles Stevens right there in P6. So we've run strong all season, and tonight was no different. And I've got to thank my short tracking guys over at Velocity, all the guys that make this league pop off. The main sponsor, of course, being Apex. Jimmy, he's a great supporter of the league. He has some phenomenal sim racing gear. Chuck for the Peg Leg Pole Award, Kinder Farm and Ranch once again. Paint of the Night, the 1-inch design, Burkhalter Recycling and Demolition, and everybody just makes this thing tick, man. It's absolute blast racing over here. Competition's tough. I can't tell you how many times I've finished within the top 5, top 3, and still ain't got a freaking win. So that tells you how tough it is over here.
Well, all you got to do, doesn't matter how many you win, just get the one next week, and that's all that matters. So Good luck. Congratulations again, Garrett, and we'll see you next week.
I appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you.
All right, let's bring the man of the hour, Aaron Adcock. Mr. King Dingaling himself, Aaron Adcock. What's going on? Come on.
Oh, not a whole lot. Come on, Eddie.
Well, man, I tell you what, you got ice water in your veins. Go to Kansas in a must-win situation. Go out there and you kick their butts. And then tonight, a little bit different story. Not as easy. Didn't not as dominant there at the end. Got a little nervous. Started falling back a little bit. But man, in the same situation, need a win to move on to the playoffs. And here you are in victory lane, moving on to Phoenix in the Final Four to compete for a championship. Man, how'd you do it? What's the secret? I need to know.
I don't know. I think after I talked to you Friday night in that Orca race, it must be something in the water around here. I don't know. I practiced for 2 hours Monday night. Didn't really feel that confident. It's hard to judge how good you're doing when you're not really practicing against anybody but yourself. And I just worked on fuel runs, watching my tire wear and watched to see what what happened if I ran here, if I ran there, and I just ran where I felt like I was confident enough that I could hold them off for just a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of them things that I don't know. You get it in your mind that you got to go do it. You got to go and do it. And I don't know. That's. I think I might be running out of luck. That's 2 cutoff races in a row that I've been in a got to go do it, and I was able to do that tonight. So hey, next week's a must win too. So maybe I got one more roll of the dice left in me.
That's right. That's right. Well, as Bobby Boucher said, I'm gonna go do it, and that's all you got to do, man. Just got to go do it.
That's right.
And
Well,
Phoenix, pretty good track for you. I think
uh,
we talked with Kinder about it, saying Kinder, he's not a big fan of Phoenix, and so, I was saying you might want to go up there and pass, Aaron, because I don't know if I'd want to race you at Phoenix.
yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's race. I try not to get too anxious because it's some stiff competition between Chris Carroll, Chris Bedwell, and Garrett Kinder, and I couldn't pick anybody else to try to race against, because the way I look at it, if you make the top 4, um, you're not a pushover. So if you got to go out there and beat the best of this season that are in the top 4, I can't picture any other way to do it, any better people to be racing around and to try to do that. And I love Phoenix, and it just, I don't know, something about that track. I've just started to catch on to it and enjoy it. And yeah, I'm gonna pull all the stops out next week. It just one of those things that I love that track. I love the track and the truck combo, and so I'm gonna do what I can to try to bring that championship trophy back to Po-Man and back here to Mississippi.
Well, that sounds good to me, and we're excited to see that play out. Going to be a fun top 4 championship race. But as always, man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
First and foremost, my wife and little girl for letting me do this. Y'all might have heard them in the background there for a minute. I'm over here swatting and snapping and trying to get people to be quiet, and apparently it's playtime. So shout out to them for letting me do this and take a little bit of time out of our night to let me relax and blow off a little steam and I race. And my mom and dad and brother-in-law and sister and grandparents and my uncle Tracy and Aunt Shanny, they're cruising tonight down, probably headed out the Mississippi River right now. And he sent me a message and told me congratulations, so I know they were watching the race. So shout out to them and all their friends that they got down there with them this weekend on their big adventure. And appreciate everybody showing up and racing with us each week. And Apex Sim Racing, Chuck Pegley Felts, Kinder Farm and Ranch, 1 Inch Designs, Burkhalter Recycling and Demolition, Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather, Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range, Absolute Product Solutions, and Five Kings Motorsports. All our sponsors and all the drivers that show up each week, and last but not least, the Rebels Racing Network on being a heck of a broadcast group, and look forward to going back to watching this one over. And yes, I will not be sleeping tonight. I'll probably be rewatching the race and on cloud nine. So just thank you to everybody that helps make this league what it is, and yeah, I hope my mom was actually watching this broadcast tonight.
Yeah, hopefully watching the right broadcast. Well,
That's right.
congratulations, Aaron, on a fantastic. I mean, just a fantastic playoff run so far. Just 2 weeks where you just had to get a win to get in, and man, did you get it both times. So really impressive stuff, and congratulations. Looking forward to seeing you race for a championship next week at Phoenix.
I appreciate it. If I can't get it, I hope my man counterpartner Kinder can get a hold of it, and he said I've been trying to win one of these races all year. I just don't feel like I can win at Phoenix. And Chris McLean said, he said, well, Bubba, I hate to tell you this, but that's gonna be the one race you're gonna have to win if you're gonna be the champion. So
That's right.
yeah, so points reset tonight, and it's basically winner take all, and it's your top four will be Chris Carroll, Chris Bedwell, Garrett Kinder, and myself. So
There you
y'all
have it.
tune in next week. It'll be a show.
Straight from the source. All right, Aaron. Have a good night, man. Try to get some sleep.
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Man, the penultimate race here um, at Homestead. Man, what a show. Only 12 drivers in the field, but like I said, just a fantastic race all around. Your top three. Chuck Phelps able to recover after that incident with a fourth place finish. Chris McLean rounds out the top five. Charles Stevens Jr. No, he's disappointed, but man, what a great season he had. Um, Finish it in sixth place. Tony Edgerton in seventh. Anthony McPherson in eighth. Dana Shepard in ninth. Chris Bedwell in 10th. Ray Rogers disappointed for sure in 11th. Matt Rogers in 12th. So man, just hate to think that it's almost over. It's just been a lot of fun. I could do 10 more races for sure. So, but thank y'all for watching. Ratchet Miller, Willie Evernham, Kevin Kinder, Willie Evernham. We wishing you all the best, man. Hope you get better, get back on the track. We need you, George Williams, for uh, being active in chat as well. So always appreciate that. And everybody that's watching and didn't chat, hey, it's okay. Glad that you're watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast. Want to thank Apex Sim Racing, Aaron Adcock, and thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next week. Phoenix going to crown champion. Y'all have a good night.